Do you want to play a game? Podcast.
They're here.
Welcome to another Blood, Gore, and Ghouls podcast. I'm your host, Ian Van Ghoul. As we do each week, we'll be talking about horror movies, news, fun facts, and anything else horror-related that you'd like to hear about. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Blood, Gore, and Ghouls _podcast and send us an email at bloodgoreandghoulspodcast@gmail.com. Now, in celebration of not only Halloween, but also our 7th wedding anniversary today, please welcome our first returning guest to the show, Mrs. Ghoul herself, my wife, Erin.
My wife.
What's up?
What's up?
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I was going to say the first intro music for
Yeah.
me. It's how I greet you every day.
That's not true.
Okay.
You lie. What's up? Happy Halloween. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
All the
Happy
happies.
Halloween. Happy.
Happy. Joy. So for today's episode, we don't have a main topic per se. We thought it'd be fun to get some different favorites lists together of things that pertain to Halloween, horror movies, or horror adjacent type items, and see what kind of shenanigans we can get into.
Shenanigans. Hey, Farva. What's the name of that bar?
Shenanigans. But first,
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
so big news this week is that 2014's It Follows is getting a sequel titled They Follow. Both the director, David Robert Mitchell, and star of the first movie, Mike Monroe, are set to return. Now, no word yet on plot or any other details, but this is both unexpected and exciting to hear. I've been a big fan of It Follows, and it's one that I never expected or necessarily wanted a sequel to, but with both David and Micah returning, I'm stoked to see what they do with it. So I'll keep you all updated as news breaks. Now, in less exciting news, for me at least, there's a Poltergeist TV series now in early development from Amazon and MGM. There's no other details about it yet. The original Poltergeist from 1982 had 2 sequels. Poltergeist Legacy was a TV show that ran from 1996 to 1999 about a secret society and their efforts to protect humankind from occult dangers. And of course, the shitty remake from 2015 that we don't need to talk about.
Womp womp.
So again, I'll keep you updated as more news is released about this new show, whether it's going to be a kind of reboot, remake, show adaptation of the first movie, or it'll be something completely different. We'll see. So Blumhouse's Five Nights at Freddy's movie is a hit. So it scared up 78 million domestically on opening weekend and 130.5 million worldwide. Now it's pretty impressive because it was also released straight to Peacock on opening day. So this is now Blumhouse's best worldwide debut of all time and the biggest opening weekend for a horror film directed by a woman, that being Emma Tammy.
Get it.
Right? So I think that's pretty rad. I think it's safe to say we can expect a sequel and most likely a franchise sooner rather than later.
I would say the general age range was 12 to 25 too, because they grew up with the video games.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I said in my review that it's not exactly what I wanted, but I think it's a good movie. It was fine for what it was, and I'm not familiar with the game. Never played the game,
No,
but
not a game I played either.
it was still entertaining. It was a good movie. And yeah, it definitely was not in, it wasn't a movie for me and our demographic at all, but
It's more my speed, is what you're saying.
yeah, you'd probably dig it more. Yeah. It's not really scary.
I like PG-13 horror movies.
Well, that's what it is.
That's why I said that.
And finally, some late breaking news out of Steel City Con. So I'll be keeping you all updated with the guest announcements. So of course we have most of the cast of Scream that will be there and a few cast members of the Lost Boys. So I've been very excited for the Scream cast, and I figured that was going to be the kind of most exciting that it was going to get for me personally. However, as of a few hours ago, there was a person that was just announced that I'm now beyond stoked for, and that's Mr. Sam Raimi.
Yes.
So-
Sammy.
Of course, Evil Dead is my favorite franchise currently, favorite horror franchise. Sam Raimi, of course, is the writer, director of Evil Dead. So as much as it would be cool to meet the Scream cast and get a picture and spend my life savings on that, I think I'm going to hold off on that and see them from afar. But I'm going to do a little meet and greet with Mr. Sam Raimi. So I'm very excited for that. Fingers crossed that Bruce Campbell is there.
Yeah, that
Done.
yeah. You're doing the double.
So yeah, signed,
absolutely.
sealed, done with it.
Mhm.
Sam and Bruce.
Like you have to get the picture with the two of them
Mhm.
and get them each to sign it.
Oh
which-
yeah.
I mean, that's even bigger than me and my hobbits.
Your
I didn't get them to
hobbitses.
sign anything.
Yeah.
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 So let's hope.
Of course,
Fingers crossed.
my picture with the hobbits probably cost their group and
Oh,
autographs
yeah,
together.
yeah.
So
True. Yep. But yeah, so any more announcements or late breaking news for Steel City Con, as always, I'll keep you all updated. So before we get into our lists and favorites of things, I found this article of 25 fun Halloween facts that I thought would be fun for the show. So we can go over them and see what that's all about here real quick.
let's do it.
Let me pull it up here. So it's just kind of 25 random things about Halloween. So number 1 is the holiday dates back more than 2,000 years. So Halloween is even older than Christianity itself. Haha, get fucked. It all started as a pre-Christian Celtic festival called Samhain, which means summer's end. Held in the beginning of November, the feast recognized the last day of the fall harvest and spirits crossing over, since they believed the veil between the living and spirit world grew thinnest at that time. People in Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France used to ward off ghosts by lighting sacrificial bonfires and, you guessed it, wearing costumes to trick the spirits, according to History.com.
We could go a little bit further, and I don't know if it's on your list, but it pertains to that with the jack-o'-lantern. Jack of the Lantern, Jack tricked the devil twice, and the devil put him in. Not put him, but he wanders around with a carved turnip in
Turnip?
Ireland.
Turnip for
They didn't
what?
have pumpkins, so yeah. So he was Jack of the Lantern, and then it turned into Jack-o'-lantern.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at you with fun facts
Look at
and
me.
shit.
Look at us.
Look
at us.
like go.
Look at us.
Look at us go.
Look at us. Thanks,
Number
Paul Rudd.
2. Number 2, trick-or-treating has existed since medieval times. So taking candy from strangers on one night a year, and one night only, isn't a new or uniquely American tradition. Back then, it was known as guising in Scotland and Ireland. Young people dressed up in costumes and went door to door looking for food or money in exchange for performing songs, poems, or other quote-unquote tricks. Today, the tradition has morphed into children getting dressed up and asking for candy. Hardly anyone sings for the mini Snickers these days, but a simple thank you will go a long way.
You don't want me to sing for a mini Snickers?
Maybe they'll give you a king-size Snickers.
No, they'd throw me straight to jail.
No Snickers. They take the Snickers back. Number 3. Some Halloween rituals used to be geared toward finding a husband. So during the 18th century, single ladies devised Halloween traditions that were supposed to help them meet their romantic match. According to History.com, women used to throw apple peels over a shoulder, hoping to see their future husband's initials in the pattern they made when they landed. When bobbing for apples at parties, the winner would supposedly marry first. Most spookily, they even used to stand in a dark room holding a candle in front of a mirror to look for their future husband's face to appear in the glass. Bloody Mary who?
That's probably where it came from.
Right?
Like, shit, that's not who I want. Go away.
Yeah. Oh, Mary. Number 4, immigrants helped popularize the holiday in the U.S. When the Irish fled the potato famine that devastated their country in the 1840s, they brought their Halloween traditions with them. The celebration spread across the country until the mischievous Halloween. Pranksters reached an all-time high in the 1920s. Some believe community-based trick-or-treating became popular in the 1930s as a way to control the many pranksters. Damn pranksters.
Prankster.
Number 5, sugar rationing during World War II paused trick-or-treating. Aw.
Oh.
Because of the shortage of the sweet stuff, trick-or-treating wasn't as big of a thing during World War II. After the rationing ended, it was all systems go on candy collecting front. Candy companies began launching advertising campaigns to cash in on the ritual and make sure kids were clamoring for their products to show up in their candy buckets and spare pillowcases.
And now we're all addicted.
That's right.
Sugar.
All part of the plan. Number 6. Now Halloween is the second largest commercial holiday in the
Oh,
country.
excuse me. Sorry.
Only Christmas rakes in more dough. Consumers spent approximately $9 billion on Halloween in 2019, according to the National Retail Federation. Spending was down a bit in 2020 because of the COVID pandemic, but Americans still forked over $8 billion overall, or an average of $92 per person.
I find that very hard to believe because everybody was at home. It was the best time to decorate. I mean, I guess the people weren't buying candy to trick or treat though,
Right.
but they were spending it on animatronics.
Well,
And
yeah. But
that's
this
when
is
the
just candy.
that's when the 12-foot skeleton came out
Yep.
next year.
Heard about it every year since.
It's gonna be mine.
Number 7, most Americans spend on candy, decorations, and costumes. Many of us put out money where our mouth is when it comes to loving Halloween. The largest share goes toward candy, with 95% picking up the sweet stuff, 75% planning on buying decorations, and 65% shopping for costumes. Overall, Americans spent an average of $1,048 on winter holidays in 2019, if you're wondering why we all tighten our belts in January. There's that.
There's that.
Number 8. The Irish also
Number
brought us
Irish.
jack-o'-lanterns.
Look, I already covered this. We're
You did.
done.
Just want to skip it?
No, you can
Okay.
read it.
As the
Stingy
story
Jack.
goes, an Irish man named Stingy Jack tricked the devil and therefore was not allowed into heaven or hell, so he spent his days roaming the earth carrying a lantern, hence the name Jack of the Lantern. Tell that story to the kids when you pick up your seasonal squash, and try not to get goosebumps when you carve up your own pumpkins this year. Number
Look,
9.
I covered this too.
They used to be carved out of turnips, potatoes, and beets. You
Kitties.
did. You were ahead of the game.
I was.
Jack-o'-lanterns did originate in Ireland, after all. Once Halloween became popular in America, people used local produce like pumpkins instead. This year, you might consider adding some creative carvings to your Halloween tableau for a more natural look that is also historical origins. When the holiday's over, they make a delicious dinner side dish. Number 10, there's also traditional Halloween bread in Ireland. It's called barmbrack, or just brack. The sweet loaf typically contains dark and golden raisins, as well as a small hidden toy or ring. Similar to the classic king cake at Mardi Gras, tradition dictates that the person who finds the item will come into good fortune in the coming year. That is, as long as they don't choke on the trinket. Number 11, Disney almost made Hocus Pocus a completely different movie. So everyone's Halloween fave was almost a freakier flick. The original title, Disney's Halloween House, had a much darker and scarier script, according to IMDb. Not only that, but Leonardo DiCaprio was courted to play teenage heartthrob Max Dennison, but turned it down to appear in What's Eating Gilbert Grape instead.
Good movie. I mean,
Yeah.
both excellent flicks. So
I
think
could
Leo
do
did
with
okay.
a darker, scarier,
yeah.
but
But I mean, Hocus Pocus is a cult classic, and
yeah. And What's Eating Gilbert Grape is a really good movie.
this is my kitty. Her name's Sonia Blade.
Number 12, Illinois produces up to 5 times more pumpkins than any other state.
Oh.
If you're in the market for a truly destination-worthy pumpkin patch, head to the Heartland. The land of Lincoln has more than 15,000 acres devoted to gourd growing, according to United States Department of Agriculture. Those Illinois farms typically grow more than 500 million pounds of pumpkins annually.
That's a
about
lot of
that?
pumpkins.
Right? That is a lot of pumpkins. 13, candy corn was originally called chicken feed.
Tastes like it too.
Oh,
Right.
I like candy corn. The Ghoul's Confectionery Company originally sold the polarizing treats in boxes with a rooster on the front in order to appeal to America's agricultural roots, according to National Geographic. The sugary recipe has gone largely unchanged since the 1880s. Love 'em or hate 'em, you can't argue with that kind of consistency,
Can't. No, I can't.
right? Number 14, Monster Mash once reigned supreme on the Billboard charts. Bobby Boris Pickett reached number 1 on the Hot 100 in 1962, just before Halloween, and hit the charts again in 1973. But this time in August. You might even say it was a graveyard smash.
It's still a graveyard smash.
Right? Yeah, it's still like
Smash.
probably one of the most popular Halloween songs every year. Number 15, you can even visit a pumpkin patch in Hawaii. Head to Waimanalo County Farms in Oahu to pick pumpkins while you're on the islands, whether you live there or need a taste of home on vacation. Looking for squash in Florida? Try the picking patch in Dunellen. It's a watermelon farm the rest of the year, but pivots to pumpkins to cash in on the seasonal appeal. Number 16, we should all know this, but just in case, the Michael Myers mask in Halloween has a fascinating backstory. So the famous horror movie villain comes from surprisingly innocent roots. When shooting the original 1978 film, production designer Tommy Lee Wallace picked up 2 masks from a Hollywood Boulevard magic shop, a clown mask and William Shatner as Captain Kirk in Star Trek. Quote, Tommy came in with the clown mask on and we went, oh, that's kind of scary. Then he put on the Shatner mask and we stopped dead and said, it's perfect, actor Nick Castle told the New York Times. They spray painted it white, made the eye holes bigger, and the rest is spine-tingling history.
It is pretty creepy.
Right? It works so perfectly.
It does.
17. The fastest pumpkin carving ever only took 16.47 seconds. So Stephen Clark of New York holds the Guinness Book of World Records distinction, having speedily carved his lantern in October 2013. In order to nab the title, the jack-o'-lantern had to contain a complete face, including eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. No word on whether the expression was silly or scary. Like you just punch a couple holes in it, call it a day.
Yeah, I wish they would have put a picture up. I'm curious.
Yeah, right?
Very curious on that one.
I'm going to have to Google that later.
Yeah.
18. New York City throws the biggest Halloween parade in the U.S. So on an average year, the event draws more than 2 million spectators and includes thousands of participants joining in as the route winds through Greenwich Village. It all began as the brainchild of Greenwich Village resident and puppeteer Ralph Lee, who just wanted to have a whimsical walk from house to house for his kids and their pals. When a local theater got wind of it, they joined in and expanded the event. It's gotten bigger, more creative, and more theatrical just about every year since. Number 19, princesses and superheroes rank as the most popular kids' costumes. Adults dress as witches most frequently, according to the National Retail Federation. In 2019, the most popular costume for dogs was a pumpkin. The most popular costume for cats is hiding under the couch, hissing at the very idea. Take it from us, cats don't like costumes.
No,
We tried.
they don't.
Number 20, Skittles are the top Halloween candy. No chocolate, no problem. Bite-sized fruit candies outranked M&M's, Snickers, and Reese's Cups, according to 11 years of sales data from CandyStore.com. And even though candy corn made the top 10, the tricolored treats also ranked among the worst Halloween candies, according to a CandyStore.com survey. No wonder Halloween night candy trades can get so intense. 21, a city in Canada banned teens over 16 from trick-or-treating. According to CBC, anyone over the age of 16 caught trick-or-treating in Bathurst, Canada faces up to $200 fine. The city also has a curfew for all residents, so even those under 16 aren't allowed out after 8 p.m. on Halloween. The rules were instituted to curtail after-dark mischief after a rash of pranks. That seems fucked up.
Yeah, if you're still in high school, you get to go have candy, man.
Right?
You're already stuck in school. That sucks.
Yeah,
You can't even have candy after 16. Bullshit.
that's what I'm saying. Could always be worse.
Mm.
Could out be hoodlums.
Mm-hmm.
22. Harry Houdini died on Halloween in 1926.
Rip.
The famous magician, illusionist, and entertainer died from periodontitis, something like that, caused by a ruptured appendix, according to biography.com. However, as befits a man of mystery, multiple contradicting reports did surface at the time. Some say a band of angry spiritualists poisoned him, others that it was a student punching him in the stomach with his permission that caused his appendix to burst. Whatever happened, we can all agree that dying on Halloween was very on brand.
Absolutely.
For sure, for sure. 23. Some shelters used to suspend black cat adoptions for Halloween. They feared that the animals were in danger from satanic cults that wanted them for nefarious purposes in the days leading up to Halloween. Now, though, shelters have gone in the opposite direction. Many even promote black cat adoptions in October, using the pre-adoption screening and interview process to weed out anyone with less than snuggly intentions. 24. Keene, New Hampshire holds the record for the most jack-o'-lanterns on display. In October 2013, the city broke the record with 30,581 lit pumpkins displayed around town. Talk about lighting up the night.
That'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, right? That's a lot. 25. The night before Halloween is called Mischief Night or Goosey Night. For those who've lived on the East Coast and the Midwest, it's probably not news to you that lots of teens and tweens pull pranks on October 30th. But from toilet papering the trees outside someone's house to egging cars and more dangerous capers, the tradition never really made its way to the West Coast, at least not yet. So that's 25 random fun facts about Halloween.
Neat-o.
Right? How about that?
How about that?
All right. So I guess we'll get into some lists and things. From here on out, it's not really scripted. We got no idea what we're doing.
We have nothing. We're just hanging out for our anniversary.
Just doing a thing.
Hanging out live.
That's right. Hanging out live.
Just talking.
So what do you got? What do you want to start with?
Sorry, hitting the table, people. It doesn't really matter to me. We've got lists. I've got lists in my head.
Lists on lists.
Lists on
Well, you
paper.
have some video game stuff you want to talk about. I don't really have much input on that.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to you in the car about it, but about some like scary characters in video games that aren't necessarily horror video games, and then I talked to you about a horror video game that you never even heard of.
Yeah, right.
Called D, which was, what did I say it was? The first like it basically you play it as a movie. There's no pause or save at all. And it takes you like 2.5 hours to complete. But,
yeah, right. It's probably the most brutal 2.5 hours ever.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
with no saves, no nothing.
Right. No pause is the thing for me.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Forget that. I need to pause for a second. I have ADHD. Like, wait a minute. So, yeah, that's dedication right there. You know, get your pizza, get your soda, and I guess the best option to do with that would be play it with a few people, so
someone can take over. Yeah, right.
Keep going.
Bathroom breaks and all.
Yep. And then I'm on my third playthrough of The Witcher 3 because there's a reason it is like the #1 best video game of all time because it is so good, and there are 9 different endings, I believe, that you can get. So I got 6 more playthroughs to go.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, I'm just exploring the world as usual and making some different calls on this one to get a different ending and see what happens. But that's kind of where that idea came from. I was playing that and I was like, man, there are some creepy ass monsters in this game, like for sure. So I don't even know like all their names off the top of my head to be like, it's this, like any of the wraiths are really creepy because they're all designed like they don't really have a neck, and wraiths are always women that were, scorned lovers that are now haunting the shit out of everybody until Geralt can come and kill them for good. But yeah, they have like no neck, and then they just have this big ass thick long tongue that just wriggles in the air as you're floating around, or they're floating around, and definitely creepy. And then they have ghouls and ghouls and all sorts of ghouls in there, and they will try to murder you any chance they get. And I was trying to think, the Bruxa is the like female vampire who does not wear any clothes, but she like looks like a normal female, and then she like vamps out, if you will. Just the face of it. What is this? This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
Oh, that one.
But yeah, there's another like vampire like one, and it's just like beastie, gross, nasty. I usually tend to play with a lamp on,
Mm-hmm.
partly because of the music is like elevator music playing in the background. It's like doo doo doo.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm like, dude, I gotta have a lamp on, and then suddenly a ghoul's creeping up on you, and you're like, son of a bitch. And then there's these 3 witches in Crookback Bog, and they are some of the freakiest design things I've ever seen. Like, what's that called when you don't like the holes to trick the oh, you
Nope.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
The holes.
Yeah, like if people do the makeup all the time, it has like a bunch of little holes in it, and people are like, "Oh my god, it's like that
Oh, yeah. I don't know
whatever.
the name, but yeah. Yeah.
But the one witch, like that's her eye, and it's supposed to look almost like a beehive, if you will, but
Yeah.
like
Okay.
and has bees coming around it. But like the one witch, they're all sisters, but she's like really, really fat. But then her skin is just this like bright red, and she literally wears like a linen bag. And then the third one has a set of like kids' legs that hang out in the front, and she like plays with it's crazy. Like it messes you up, and then you're like, those things are freaky deaky, man. I
Yeah,
do
right.
not like them. Like they are weird. And I don't think of the third playthrough here, but I don't think you've ever come in when I'm playing have any kind of dialogue with those
Yeah.
switches. at
I mean,
any time,
I played the game, but I never finished it, so I definitely haven't gone nearly as far into it as you have.
No,
Multiple
it's
times.
so good. And then the like basically the aborted fetus that you have to save, and what's it called, a lollykin or something like that. I always forget the name of that one too, but it's like that thing is weird. There's a lot of weird in that
A lot of weird in The
game,
Witcher.
but it's so good. It's so good. I mean, it's monsters. What do you
Oh,
expect?
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like dark fantasy. It's kind of
yeah.
a lot of
You know.
horror elements to it, for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
Yeah,
But
I
then
don't,
it's like a bright sunshiny day while it's happening.
Wow,
Same
yeah.
time. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, outside of Call of Duty, all the games I play are horror, so I didn't have much to add to
No, that's okay.
to that. But
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
We were just talking about in the car.
Yeah.
Brought the subject up,
Now
you
we
know.
talk about it on the
Now we can
podcast.
talk about it here.
Shit.
We don't like video games in this house, not at all.
Nah.
No. We
Kid
don't
stuff.
We don't like the same video games.
No.
Really. So I never
There's
have to
that.
hang out with you.
That's true.
I also don't stream.
That's how we've
I
gone for
always
7 years.
threaten that when you're at work, I'll just jump on your stream and start playing my game. What are you going to do? You run home? No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Emergency, gotta go.
Yeah, right.
Ridiculous. So, I have.
Yeah, what's your little list? Which one you want to start with?
We'll do some favorite movies that take place on Halloween.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, I did mine as like my kind of top. Well, I have one honorable mention and the kind of top 5. My honorable mention is Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, good one.
So, I don't consider it a horror movie per se, but there's definitely elements to it. I love
yeah, I mean,
love me some Donnie Darko.
It's pretty dark, for lack of a better term. I mean, you know.
Yeah, Donnie Dark.
Definitely.
But yeah, like I said, there's definitely some horror elements to it. But the rest of my 5 are definitely horror. So you just want me to go down?
Yeah. Give me
go
spit
through
'em.
it. So number
Spit your
5,
list.
House of a Thousand Corpses,
Oh, absolutely.
for sure. Number 4 is Night of the Demons. Number 3 is Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Okay.
Top 3. Number 2 is Trick or Treat.
Well, obvi.
Obvi, which it's very, very close to number 1 for me. But number 1 is, of course, Halloween.
Well, I mean,
OG.
I'm not shocked there.
Yeah.
Not shocked.
No.
I feel like if you could put them both at 1, you would have put them both at 1, but we can't have those
Yeah.
rules. No, we don't play that.
No, yeah. But yeah, no, that's mine.
That's
You
your
got any?
list?
Got any fun stuff
I
over
did
there?
not write a list down, but I could tell you. I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses, 100%. Yes, that's like one of my all-time favorites. Of course, Hocus Pocus.
Hocus
I'm
Pocus.
going to say Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus.
I
I mean,
figured,
that's
yeah.
probably going to be like 5 for me. But I don't know if I could do a 4, 3, or 2 off the top of my head. Well, Trick or Treat's in there. I really like Trick or Treat, and it's not like scary. Trick or Treat isn't. It's a horror movie, but it's also like not the same type of scary for me.
Yeah.
It has some like of that corniness to it that makes it like comedic, if you will. Obviously, my number 1 is Nightmare Before Christmas.
I figured that's what it was going to be.
And not because of like what it's become, I'd say in the last like decade.
Yeah.
That's not me, not my style. But I mean, like I'm an OG 1993 edition. That's absolute favorite. Like,
For sure,
you know.
yeah.
And I mean, the pipes on Danny Elfman are undeniable.
That's true, yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas would have been more on my list, but I still love it. But unfortunately, all the fad of it from the past 10 years is kind of.
I know that I feel the
ruined it a bit.
same, but at the same time, it's like the movie itself, I absolutely
Right.
adore. And there's still like, there's things that are released out there that I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And, you know, obviously going to Disney and meeting Jack and Sally,
Mhm.
because that's the only time that they're there. That was super freaking awesome. Like, it was like, holy crap, this is so cool. And the character actor, friend, whatever they call them in Disney, I'm sure I'll be corrected by my sister. But he was phenomenal. Like they obviously must put them through like voice classes and things like that, because sounded just like who was the six-fingered man?
Chris Sarandon.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. Sounded just like him. I was like, holy shitballs, this is crazy.
Holy shit balls.
Holy shitballs.
So our next list is songs in horror movies.
Now, this list for me, I would love to start this
Yeah,
list. I
absolutely.
have
Go
a
for
ton
it.
of
Go
honorable
for it.
mentions, though, because I went like ham writing this down. This is outside of the original piece or scores. This is like,
Right.
you know, adding a song that we've all heard on the radio, and it gets popped into this movie, and you're like, what? That song unknowingly was meant for that movie. So let me break
Go
out
for
my
it.
list. And I'm going to start at 5, work up to number 1, and then I'll make my honorable mentions. So number 5, and again, this isn't just horror movies either. This is like more Halloween themed.
Okay.
But number 5 is Coconut in Practical Magic for Midnight Margaritas.
I
It's
forgot
like
about that movie.
one of my favorite scenes, though. And it's like they're just dancing around in the kitchen, and I'm like, 100%, like, I want to be there. Then, of course, you have to add in Jump in the Line by the master Harry Belafonte for Beetlejuice
Mm-hmm.
at the end. Like, it's just comical and it's funny, and I've always enjoyed it. Way to go, Danny Elfman.
Right.
Number 3, I got 5 on it, Tether remix.
Damn it.
That's so good.
I have it on my list,
well,
and I didn't think you would pick it.
What do you mean? What do you? But it's so good. I
is.
mean, it's
It's
only
so
like a
good.
minute and a half long because of it being the remix.
Right.
And I will say I've never watched Us, but that song became so popular, like on TikTok and everywhere like that I'm like, this shit is good. Like
It's
I
so
can just
good.
listen to it all the time. So, number 2, School's Out for the Summer by Alice
Oh.
Cooper. particularly the Henry Winkler scene in Scream.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they used it, and it's like, you just killed him. He did. He did. But my
Spoilers.
number one,
Yeah. What do you got? Number one.
which has like the moment I heard the song start and then watched that whole scene, I was like, oh my God.
Can I guess it?
Yeah,
Devil's Rejects.
it is.
Freebird.
Absolutely not.
It's not the end?
No, it's Midnight Rider when they're running.
Oh, shit.
Do,
Okay.
do, 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 do,
Yeah.
and you're just like, and then he does like the pause of the, like, the still of the scenes, and they're just running and just like, holy shit, this is perfect. I
is,
gotta
yeah.
run to keep from hiding. And you're like, wow. Honorable mention was Freebird, but
Okay.
it's Freebird, so I'm not gonna pick that because
Right.
that song is okay at best.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but
in that movie,
yeah,
it is excellent.
absolutely,
Excellent. But like, play Freebird, like killing me, dude, killing me. So like, I put that as an honorable mention because the scene itself with that song so good, but the opening with Midnight Rider
Mhm.
is just
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
absolutely. It's like
That's good.
one of my all-time favorites. So I also have a great honorable mention here. Is
What do you got?
Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Oh, damn it.
Such
Another
a
one.
Well, I do like music. I might not know movies like you, but like it's so freaky on its own. So anytime it's in like any form of a horror movie, you're like, ooh, heebie-jeebies instantly. And then this next honorable mention was kind of like the end credits song. It's not really in the movie, it's in the end credits, and of course it's the song that they used for like when they put the trailers out back in the day when TV was on and they put cool trailers on. But Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger.
Yeah, I just thought of that. I was gonna add it.
Disturbing Behavior.
Yep, Disturbing Behavior.
What a fucked up
That was
movie.
the first time I heard that song, and
yeah,
it's so good.
right. It's not in the movie, is it? It's
Yeah.
only. Is it? I can't.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was.
Yep.
I knew it was. They obviously
Yeah, it's
played
when
it
they're
end
like,
credits.
I think
but,
they're like running out of town,
okay.
getting
It's been
their
a
stuff
long
together.
time since I watched that Perfect Children movie.
Right? Yeah, I watched it right before I started doing reviews.
Mm.
It was the last time I watched it. But
Yes,
yeah, it's such a good song.
Oh,
Just for in that particular.
in that context, it's
Yeah.
so good. But like, it's just a good song. Like Flagpole Sitta is absolutely one of those songs. It comes on, I am cranking cranking it up to the max, and I am just jamming. I love that song.
Love it.
Love it. So give me yours, even though
Well,
I guessed half of them.
no.
Or put them on my list. I should
Well, I
say.
had the honorable mention was Freebird from Devil's Rejects. Number 5 was Hip to Be Square from American Psycho.
I thought about that one too because that is a really good one.
Right, it's so iconic. Number 4 was Tiptoe Through the Tulips from Insidious. Number 3 was Got 5 on It from Us. Which you need
That's
to
both of
you
our
need
threes.
to check out the movie because in the context of the movie, it's
You
even better.
you told me about it.
Yeah, it's so good. Number 2 was Don't Fear the Reaper from Halloween, which at this
Good one,
point is
good
in
one.
just about every Halloween movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of a staple. And yeah, like the song by itself is whatever, but in the movies,
In the context,
it's so much
yeah.
better. Number 1, I think they did it for the movie, but it's the Dickies did the main theme for Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh,
And
okay.
it has like my
okay.
favorite guitar riff.
Okay.
It's so good. So that was what I had. So yeah, we
I
think
love
alike.
you
I
too,
guess.
Tiger.
We think alike.
Yeah. Well, we are
what they say.
married. Thank God we haven't started looking
Allegedly.
alike.
Allegedly.
I'm still beautiful. So my next little list
hmm
that I had seen, and unfortunately I should have looked before to give props to the TikTokers that I sent to you for the idea, but it was top 5. They used horror movie props,
Mhm.
but for me, I think actually, yeah, mine are more Halloween themed.
Sure, that works.
Like
It is a Halloween episode.
it is a Halloween episode. There is 100% horror movies in there. I really struggled with like getting 5 because I'm not a memorabilia person quite like you know, like not.
I struggled. I had one.
You had
Then
one.
I had to like really think about other ones.
Yeah, and like for me, you have to remember like Chucky is a prop.
Right. Oh
You
yeah.
know, like okay, that'd be cool to have Chucky, but at the same time, absolutely the fuck not. Like, not in my house. I already have a child that dresses like Chucky, and
Yeah.
that's freaky enough sometimes. Turn in the corner,
Want to play?
puts the makeup on. I'm like, no,
Yep.
you got to prepare
Remember
me.
very unchucky.
So, number 5 is blank on my piece of paper here, but having one of the original Scream masks, like off the set, would be super
Right, yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Even though, like, it was just some off-brand company that mass-produced thousands of them.
Right. But yeah.
Anything that had Matthew Lillard's face touching it, I'll take it. I'll take the
Fair enough.
glass from 13 Ghosts.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that too. Please and thank you. No. So you're probably going to enjoy this, but obviously for this scene they had to make like almost like a doll cast type thing, but the merman Rainn Wilson from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Fish boy.
Yes,
That would
thank
be
you.
fucking amazing. I
Like
didn't
how
think
cool
of that.
would that be to have like just sitting?
Yeah, just
like,
have him on the desk right here.
That's my Rainn Wilson fish boy. Because obviously,
Oh, that's such a good one.
you know, like they had to make
Yeah.
a doll
Right.
version of it. So for me, that's
Oh,
a
that'd be
prop.
so good.
This one's not a movie,
Okay.
but you absolutely know. I'm going to say anything from the set of Monsters.
Oh yeah.
Anything.
100%.
I would love to have Lily's like OG necklace,
Yeah.
and but like anything from the set of the Monsters. That is the memorabilia I collect. So I would
Yeah, that'd
just
be dope.
simply pass away, like if it was actually from there.
For sure.
Number 2, Sam. With the
Sam.
burlap sack on, Sam, because obviously it is a prop. It's a doll.
Yeah.
Like, just give me a Sam. How many was probably made? You know, like they had to have had a couple that weren't just people in suits. They just stood there. You know, give me a Sam. I want a Sam.
Sam.
He's so cute.
He is so cute.
He is so cute with his little burlap sack mask. I just love him. He's never coming to get us because we just love him.
That's right.
And then this is something I've wanted for a really long time, but like any of the claymation pieces from The Nightmare Before Christmas, like the OG, and in particular, I always wanted like one of Oogie Boogie's bugs.
Oh yeah.
Like, my bugs. I'm like, that'd be so cool. You just have like one little bug and be like, oh, that's one of the claymation pieces they
Yeah, for
made
sure,
when he was melting away. Like,
right.
that's always been something, even though the fad is the way it is, it'd be pretty cool
Yeah.
to have. Like,
Yeah. No, I thought of that.
OG, or one of the claymation pieces from Coraline.
Okay. Yeah. That'd be cool too.
Same
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I was gonna add one of the actual like screen used Nightmare Before Christmas characters. It didn't make my list, but that would be
Yeah.
awesome for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one of the bugs, like just like
Yeah.
so
just-
like kind of off the wall, like
and they're actually probably about this big because
Right.
of, you know, how they had to film it and make everything. So I always thought that'd be cool. And I guess a non-Halloween honorable mention with claymation would be anything from the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
oh yeah,
Just a claymation piece that's like truly from the set.
Mhm.
That'd be super cool.
absolutely,
Super duper.
super duper duper. So I have I did 6, so I'll do an honorable mention of the Dr. Decker mask from Nightbreed. It's super creepy. I mean, Trick or Treat Studios makes one, but that's not what we're talking about.
Right. No, we're
I've got,
talking like
I've got
straight from
plenty
this
of
set.
masks and quote unquote props all over the studio, but nothing that
Straight from
straight
the set.
from the set.
Yeah, yeah.
So the one that that was actually worn and shown on the movie would be awesome. Number 5 is again any of the masks from the movie Haunt. They're just really, really cool, like simple but just really cool fucking masks. Number 4, get a little crazy here.
Uh-oh.
Mrs. Voorhees' head from Friday the 13th Part 2.
Okay.
Like just her decapitated
Hanging off the ceiling fan.
dead
yeah.
head. Yeah.
Like that's Mrs. Voorhees.
Yeah. I'd set up a little shrine like he had. It'd be awesome.
Right next to Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It's
He
fine.
could hold it actually, just like he's holding everything else.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Billy the Puppet from Saw.
No, I'll pass. That's not coming into my house.
Oh, it is.
No.
Let me know.
Mm-mm.
You know where to get Billy the Puppet, the real one. Send me an email. Blood, Gore, and Ghouls podcast at gmail.com.
Absolutely not.
Number 2, when I was looking up stuff, and everyone always said, or everyone was saying, Leatherface's chainsaw. I want the fucking mask.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want like the
Hell,
OG.
the apron would be cool.
Yeah, I mean anything Leatherface.
Like straight from the set.
Yeah. It would probably smell fucking terrible. Not that the mask would be any better, but yeah, the actual like legit like with the makeup on it
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
And my number 1, and really like the one I didn't have to think about when you gave me this little subject is the Necronomicon
I knew that's what you were
Book of the
gonna say.
Dead.
Yeah.
Really any of them from any of the Evil Dead movies, but probably Evil Dead 2 because it has like the face. It has
Yeah.
the iconic face.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
and it actually has like the pages and stuff. You can see it in the movie. So Evil Dead 2, Book of the Dead would be my number 1.
Which I had that strong feeling that was going to be
Oh yeah.
your one. Like if you could get one straight from set, that would
Yep.
that would be the first thing you say.
Yeah, I've even looked up like prop ones, like anything that's like legit that has pages like
Mhm.
with that artwork and stuff, and it's hard to find. Even replicas are hard to find,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
maybe one day. But yeah, that would be my
Well,
number 1 for sure.
Krista Jenkins made you.
Well,
one,
yeah,
and hers is
yeah.
awesome. Like she did a pretty good job.
Oh, absolutely,
Like,
yeah, yeah. I still
it's
have
awesome.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, like I know what you're saying. Like a true set, like
Mhm.
prop maker,
Like the real,
Right,
as,
yeah.
as real as
real
you
deal
can
Bob
get.
Steele.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
But yeah, our friend Kristen did a cool one from a note, just like a regular notebook.
Yeah. So it is
But
super cool.
it does look
Yeah,
very
she's
much
pretty
like
talented.
the
She's pretty
Book of the
talented,
Dead. But yeah, if I could get like the straight up real
Mhm.
one from the movie, that would be amazing. That's really like I said, like I have like the cool shit around the studio, but like as far as like I never wanted to be like I need this prop or like
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
all this money for like
Except for like as I'm developing the list and I was really thinking about it, like I was like, damn, I want Fish Boy so bad. Like he'd be so
that
cool.
would, yeah, I
like,
never even thought of that. That is
He'd
yeah.
be so cool to
That
just
would be.
put on a shelf.
Yeah, right. So good. Yeah, that's
Thanks, Rainn Wilson.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, that would have to be my new number 2.
Yeah, it's
For
so
sure.
good. So good. So
Did you
so
have any other lists? Any other things? Halloween treats, shenanigans, any of it?
Oh, you know, when you were going through your, what was that, your 25, whatever, your
Oh,
list.
fun facts there.
Yeah, your fun facts. It did remind me when they had the mention of Samhain and that celebration, and then this like Celtic traditions of that time. But it reminded me straight back to video games of Valhalla,
Mhm.
because that's one of the special events they did, and you had like the whole Samhain event, and it would they would decorate their whole little town, and yeah, it was cool. And then there's actually a whole storyline piece in the video game that it's another settlement, but they do the Wicker Man in the
okay,
video
yeah.
game. So like the dude burns in it, but like he voluntarily does it in the video game. Sorry for the video game spoilers, guys.
Spoilers.
I mean,
Damn it.
it's been out for like 4 years now, so
Is that it?
you know they dropped a new one, so I can talk about it.
You know what would be
That's all I
better?
said about
If it was Nicolas Cage, Wicker Man.
it. They should have
The
at least
Beast.
designed
The
his face,
Beast.
but alas, it was not so. But it was
Wow.
still like, wow. I
That
just
is
watched
pretty cool.
that dude burn alive in a giant, like, corn husk doll, like
Yeah.
a giant one.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It's a way to go.
See, you should sit and watch me play video games every once in a while. You get to some cool scenes, like 3 creepy fucking witches or
A man burning.
Wicker Man.
I just watch horror movies too. I see all that and more.
But your wife playing, like
My life.
my wife.
My wife.
Very nice.
All right. Well, you know what time it is.
No, what time is it?
It's time to end this shit.
Oh, okay. All
7
right.
years. It's been a good run.
Yeah. Get out.
But no, for real, that's going to do it for our first Halloween episode of Blood, Gore, and Ghouls. But be sure to follow on Instagram at Blood, Gore, and Ghouls _podcast, on Twitch at Ian Van Ghoul. Join the Ghoul Squad Discord, subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok at ian.vanghoul, and send an email at bloodgoreandghoulspodcast@gmail.com. As always, all links can be found in the show notes. But until next week, I've been your host, Ian Van Ghoul.
And I'm Mrs. Van Gogh.
Mrs. Van Ghoul. And disclaimer, apologize for all the background noise. Since we're both here, Little Ghoul is back there
being a freaking goal, man.
being a ghoul.
Seriously.
Being as silent as can be. So
have kids, they say.
please ignore the ruckus and the coughs and everything else. I apologize. But have a ghoulish week, and always remember the rules of Halloween. Wear a costume, hand out treats, never blow out a jack-o'-lantern before midnight, and always check your candy. Y'all stay safe out there.